Shawn Williby, ShawnWilloughby.
Okay, Shawn, tell me the process of your discovery of calling.
Well, my process of discovering calling, I think it was a couple parts. First is after I became a believer, I went through and started thinking I have to have some type of calling, right? There has to be some type of calling. And so I kind of searched for that on my own and what God wanted me to do and what He wanted me to be. And I think I had a different mindset around calling. I thought it was going to be some kind of vocation or some type of job or some way I was supposed to act. But I took intentional living and went through and realized that it was drastically different. God has a different view of calling than what my human view of calling was. And I just really learned in there that you have to seek after Him and know Him to find your calling.
How has this affected your life? Family life, professional life, emotionally and spiritual?
The way that this has really affected my life is it's been a journey. It's been a journey that has taken me to places that I didn't think I would go. As I really started trying to understand it at first, when I went through what I thought my calling was to trust the Lord with my family, my finances, and my career, I thought, wow, this is not as dramatic as what I thought it was going to be. But as I started going down through that, I realized it has drastically changed me over the last 3 to 4 years, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all areas of life.
What have been some of the emotional barriers that you've had to overcome?
I think the biggest emotional barrier is understanding God's love and how that works in my life on my calling. I think I have a lot of trust issues, and as I went through this journey through understanding my calling, I found that I really started to understand how God loves me. But it took going through some very rough times, going through some anxiety, depression, anger, to find God's love and to understand this calling and that He loves me and He really does care about me and He knows who I am. He wants me to know what I am built for and built to do.
What are you still learning about this?
I'm learning that this calling never ends. It's a day-to-day process, and I have just scratched the surface of this calling. It's a situation where God is teaching me that it's not instant gratification. It's not, wow, I took a class and I heard this is my calling and that's it and now it's time to move on. This is something that I struggle with every day. This is something that God shows me every day. This is a process that is transforming me, and that takes time, and that it's showing me patience and waiting for Him and not trying to force things in my own life, but understanding that He has His time and His place.
How has this benefited you? What sort of fulfillment has this brought about?
To me, it's starting to give me inner peace. You hear inner peace a lot, but I had to go through 2 or 3 years of searching through this calling with no inner peace. And I would think that as you search for calling, as you spend time with the Lord, you would think that things are going to get peaceful, but they haven't. It's disrupted my life as I've searched for this calling. It has changed who I am, but it has changed me in a good way, in a way that I am closer to the Lord, understanding who He is, in better touch with who I am as a Christian and my emotions and His grace and understanding that.
What would you say to others who are on this journey?
I would tell others that it's a process, right? We live in a world that we think things should happen immediately, but God has His own time. Wait on Him. Understand that if you are going to do this and you are going to search Him out, that there's nothing safe about it. There's nothing safe, but there's also it's just a journey through the process, and it takes time, and His time.